This is Tatum. Watch what happens when he tries to roll. To his right, he can get all the way over, but when he tries to go to his left side, he gets stuck right here. If your baby only rolls to one side, the mistake is assuming that they just need more rolling practice to that one side that they're stuck at. As a pediatric physical therapist, I want to know what's actually stopping the movement. So I'm going to show you the 5 things that I like to check and how each one of them can help you to teach your baby to roll over equally in both directions. If we've never met and you're new to the channel, my name is Charek Gordon. I've been a pediatric physical therapist for over 25 years. I've helped babies build the movement skills they need to reach their milestones. And if you want an easy way to follow your baby's developmental progress from birth to 12 months, grab my free Baby Master PT Milestone checklist using the link below. I'm going to put it at the very top of the description. Let's take a look at Tatum again. He can roll to his right, but when he tries to roll left, he gets stuck. So the first thing that I like to check is baby's neck. Now this particular baby, Tatum, he has torticollis, which can make it harder for him to comfortably turn and control his head towards his left side. This matters because rolling often begins with the head turning in the direction that the baby wants to go in. The shoulders, the trunk, and then the hips have to follow where the head goes. So if your baby keeps rolling towards one side, ask yourself this question. Can they comfortably turn and hold their head in both directions? If one direction is noticeably harder, I like to work on improving that neck movement before simply asking the baby to just practice more and more rolls. Sometimes the rolling problem starts with the neck. Now look at Amelia. She can start the roll, but watch where she gets stuck. She gets about halfway over and then has trouble clearing her shoulder and bringing that arm over. So Amelia does not really have a problem starting her roll, but she has a problem finishing it. To roll from back to tummy successfully, your baby's arm has to move out of the way so that the shoulder can clear as the chest turns towards the floor. If that top arm is behind baby's body and baby cannot get that arm all the way over, baby may repeatedly get stuck halfway. So when I see this, I check whether the baby can bring the arm across their body, rotate through the shoulder, and free that arm as their body turns. Reaching across the body for toys while lying on the back or playing and side-lying is one of the simple ways to practice this kind of movement. So if your baby keeps starting to roll but keeps getting stuck halfway, take a look at the arm and the shoulder. Sometimes clearing the shoulder is that missing piece. Now let's go back to Tatum. Watch the middle of his body when he tries to roll towards his harder side. His head begins to turn, but his shoulders and hips tend to move more like one solid block instead of rotating around each other. Your baby's body needs to be able to twist as baby is rolling. Rolling should involve a coordinated twisting type of movement through the middle of your baby's body. The shoulders begin turning, the trunk follows, and then the hips come through. If your baby moves more like one stiff piece, they may start to roll and then stall halfway. So I want to know whether your baby can comfortably twist and rotate the trunk in both directions. One easy way to encourage this is to place a toy slightly across the body so the baby has a reason to reach, turn, and rotate. If the middle of the body is not rotating, simply practicing more rolls may not solve the problem. Sometimes you have to teach the rotation first. The 4th thing that I check is hip rotation, and this one is easy to overlook. Your baby can turn their head, they can move the arm, they can rotate the trunk, but if the hips do not follow, then the roll can still fall apart. It seems like it falls apart halfway. So watch your baby's lower body. Does the hip come forward more easily from one side than the other? Does one leg stay stiff or get left behind? Does the pelvis actually rotate? Or is the upper body doing all the work? That hip rotation helps the lower half of the body to finish the roll. Now you can practice this by gently bringing one leg across the body, just enough to start the pelvis turning, and then giving your baby a chance to finish the movement on their own. The goal is not to roll your baby over for them. You are simply helping them discover how the hips contribute to that last piece of the movement. And if you have a baby who's not rolling over at 7 or 8 months, or a baby consistently rolling in only one direction, I would pay especially close attention to whether the trunk and the hips can move equally well towards both sides. Sometimes the roll gets stuck because the lower body doesn't join in with the rest of the movement. The fifth thing that I like to check is sideline play, and this is one of my favorite ways to make rolling easier to practice. Let's take a look at baby Tatum again. Instead of asking him to complete an entire roll all the way from his back onto his belly, I put him on his side and let him practice just holding that middle part of the movement. I'm lying down in front of him so that he has a reason to lift his head. Hold it there and interact with me. We can then practice that position in both sides. Sideline gives your baby a chance to work on head control, trunk rotation, weight shifting, balance, shoulder movement without having to complete the entire roll all in one fell swoop. For a baby who strongly prefers rolling one way, I especially like spending more time playing on the more difficult side. Use your face to give your baby a reason to stay there and play for an extended period of time. We're not forcing the roll. You're helping your baby become comfortable controlling their body in one of the most important positions used during the rolling process. Sometimes the best way to teach a baby to roll over is to spend more time practicing the position right in the middle of the roll, which is that sideline position. So if your baby only rolls to one side, check these 5 things: the neck, the arm and shoulder, the trunk rotation, the hip rotation, and can baby play on their side. And if you're wondering when do babies start rolling over, there's a fairly wide range. What I pay close attention to is not just whether a baby can roll, but whether they're developing the movement in both directions and whether there's a clear reason one side seems much harder than the other side. To answer that question as to when babies begin to roll, babies begin to roll anywhere between 4 and 7 months. That's considered to be the normal range. And remember, the goal is not to repeatedly push your baby through the movement. The goal is to figure out which part of the roll is difficult and help your baby to build that missing piece. Now that you know what may be stopping the roll, the next step is learning how to practice the movement itself. So if you want to teach baby to roll from their back to their tummy, watch my next video right here where I show you 3 simple ways to help your baby practice that movement. I'll see you over there.